Tonight on the Inspectors, it's a rat hunt amongst rotting rubbish in a vermin-infested alleyway.
Hopefully nothing will jump out and bite me.
Also, it's party night in the city centre, and this boozer's not shy in coming forward.
I'll show you my butthole if you show me yours.
And an inspector has a run-in with a pensioner with attitude.
God damn it, what's wrong with you, woman?
In a lane between two restaurants in the central city, Auckland Council's Environmental Health Officer Paula Cameron is investigating a complaint about piles of stinking rubbish that's attracting rats. The garbage is located at the back of a dairy.
The reason I'm here is we've had complaints of rats. Rats. Yeah, and I could understand why you would have rats, because this is perfect. You know, is this yours? Yeah. So why is it on the ground?
The shop worker tells Paula most of the mess isn't theirs. Some of the bins belong to the restaurant next door, and the rest is being illegally dumped, and no one knows who's doing it.
So I know you're saying this isn't yours, but you're going to have to clean this up, because it's your premises that's going to be affected by the rats. You can't leave this.
The shop worker says he was about to clear the mess up, but he can't until his manager arrives.
So I was going to clean it, but because nobody's there, so I couldn't.
Okay, but this has obviously been here for a long time. This didn't.
No, not for a long time.
Oh, come on! This has been here a long time. This didn't just arrive yesterday.
Paula's main concern is the complaint about the rats breeding in amongst the rubbish.
So I'm just going to go through the bags. I'll start at the back here. Hopefully nothing will jump out and bite me.
As well as looking for evidence of rats, Paula's also looking for clues as to who else might be dumping here.
Let's do some detective work. Right, so I'm really just looking for something to tie the rubbish to a specific address. So normally you might be able to find a bill or just anything that has their details on it.
If Paula can find evidence linking the rubbish to a person, they could be in for a $250 fine.
So we've got an envelope from the bank. Ooh.
Just as Paula thinks she spotted a clue, the manager of the dairy turns up. He's also adamant the majority of the rubbish doesn't belong to him, but Paula keeps finding stuff which obviously comes from his dairy.
I would imagine this is yours though, isn't it? Let's see what else I can find. That one you though, yeah. Yeah. Once people see anything dumped, they just join in.
Regardless of whose rubbish it is, because he runs the dairy, he's got to clean it up.
Like, this is perfect for rats, because they'll live in this, they'll live in the long grass. You need to cut away all the vegetation. You need to get rid of the cardboard. They use that for nesting.
The cardboard there, this is our
Yeah,
cardboard.
now this is yours, isn't it? Yeah. So why isn't this in the bin?
Normally every day, because yesterday we got a stock, and every day we just put it in the bin.
Apart from yesterday.
Having searched the stinking yard for rats, Paula makes her way into the dairy itself, where she finds another problem: unlabeled food.
Okay. So who made this?
This one restaurant.
Okay, next door. If I ask them, will they?
Yeah, this one. This all.
Yeah, because I'll go and ask them.
Selling unlabeled food is illegal in New Zealand, and you can be prosecuted for it.
I have no idea what the ingredients are. I may have an allergy to something, so if I buy this, I have no idea.
Paula's going to pay a visit to the restaurant next door to talk to them about this. In the meantime, she tells the manager he's got to get the yard cleaned up, and soon.
How long will you give time for?
I'll give you a week. Yeah. I'll give you time, don't worry.
It's party night on the North Shore, and Noise Control Officer Mike Dennison has received a complaint about a noisy birthday celebration.
She's getting on to 1 o'clock in the morning, clearly audible outside of the property from your vehicle, and it's excessive.
This 21st bash could end badly if Mike serves an excessive noise direction, which is an official warning to either turn their noise down or lose their equipment.
Came here earlier and they were singing happy birthday, and the music wasn't on and it didn't come on while I was here, so it was actually non-excessive. Now we've returned a couple of hours later and there is definitely music going. I'll whip in, I'll give them a warning.
But before he goes in, the birthday boy comes out.
Good, mate. Don't suppose you live here by any chance, do you?
I do.
That makes my life even easier. Hey,
My 21st.
oh, nice, mate. Well, happy birthday. Was that yesterday or today?
That's actually next Sunday.
Well, that's even better. So you get two. Hey, mate, I came around earlier just after your dad. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Dad told me, yeah.
This one's your warning, because obviously the music was going when it came back this time.
Yeah.
Mike explains to the young man he's lucky that he just got a warning this time. If he has to come back, he'll confiscate the sound system, and that will cost the party boy up to $400. It's now 2 a.m. and across town another celebration has got out of hand.
We got a call from one of the guys. He's about to do a seizure, so we'll go give him a hand. I think it's about 60 people on site and making quite a bit of noise. They got a warning about an hour ago and they obviously haven't listened. So he's done a reattend and he's called for the police.
The party has spilled onto the street by the time the police arrive to help seize the sound system.
For noise control.
The crowd is large and loud. Alcohol is definitely a factor in this disturbance.
All right, I'll show you my butthole if you show me yours.
A lot of the crowd appear to be drunk, but that doesn't stop Mike and the police going inside to seize the gear. Most of the crowd are oblivious to what's going on in the house because they're on the street. But we can hear Mike laying down the law.
No, it's coming with us, mate. That's what's playing the music. It's coming with us.
Then the film crew gets spat on. Disgusting. Mike and the police emerge with the gear and even the owner helps out.
Put it on the back seater.
So you'll be able to get it back on Monday, all right? This is a receipt.
Choice, bro.
So the rest of the weekend will be a lot quieter until he collects his equipment and pays his fine on Monday.
We grabbed the amp, the mixer and the equaliser. So, taking the guts out of their sound equipment. So noise is off. Party should start falling apart now. And maybe some of the neighbours can get some sleep. We're coming up towards 2 in the morning.
Coming up, the house-proud pensioner who won't back off.
If that's what you call cleaned up and paid, well, I'll go and jump in the river.
And the foul stench that's got Paula's nostrils in a twitch.
Stinks. It's very smelly.
Auckland Council's bylaws officer Teresa Paul is visiting a property she's been to several times before. The original complaint was about long grass posing a fire risk at the neighbour's property. This was cut, but Teresa's been called back again.
So initially when I received the complaint, it was about this grass.
That's right.
Which has been done, and hey, it's been done to a really good standard. The
If
issue
you're
was
happy
this.
with that, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Because the people were paid to clean the section up.
Yeah.
And if that's what you call cleaned up and paid,
Yeah.
well, I'll go and jump in the river.
And it's not just the grass he's got issues with. He doesn't like their trees.
How is that affecting you?
Well, what is going to happen if that gets on fire? That dead tree will go up with it, and so will those.
Well, it's not going to burn because it's a live tree. It's
Oh,
not.
come on,
it's
dear.
not dead. It's not dead. It wouldn't burn any more than this tree.
And he's also angry that they're dumping rubbish under their trees.
They're stacking the rubbish up under the trees.
Yep.
It's just not the lawn clippings. It's their baskets, their plastic bags, everything's chucked under the tree.
We can only get involved if it's a risk, if it's a health risk,
well.
if it's a fire risk.
I've done the best I can do,
Yeah,
and I can't do any better than that.
that's right. Give yourself a pat on the back for that.
Why shouldn't I be angry? If I can keep my place clean and tidy, why can't they? Why have they got sections, nice sections, with rubbish when they can have a little garden? Is it hard to have a little garden? They're too lazy to get off their ass when they get home.
But Teresa thinks there isn't a problem.
I don't see that being a fire risk or a health risk, so, I have to shut the case. They've done what I've asked them to do originally, which was, and that grass was long and it probably was at the time of fire risk, so, we've asked them to cut that and they've done that and it's gone. But, as for the trees, they're green, so they're not a fire risk because they're green.
God damn it, what's wrong with you, woman?
It's a tree, it's a live tree.
At this point, Teresa's had enough and wraps up the case.
like I say, all of that issue that originally I was here for has been tidied up. You've got to admit that is fairly tidy to what we started with. All we've got now is a couple of branches over here, which are no different than any other branches on any other property along the way. And the trees are a civil issue. If you don't like their trees, then you need to talk to them, not to council, because if you've got a boundary fence and you've got a tree and I've got a tree, it becomes a civil matter.
Case closed for now, but this may not be the last time Teresa will be hearing from this gentleman. Auckland Council's Environmental Health Officer, Paula Cameron, is investigating a filthy backyard belonging to a dairy where people are illegally dumping rubbish. Some of the overflowing bins here belong to the restaurant next door, so Paula's about to pay a visit and talk to them about their unlabeled food.
Hi, how are you? I'm Paula from Auckland Council, Environmental Health. Just a couple of things I need to talk to you. Are you the manager?
It seems the boss is in India and the cook is in charge, so first Paula shows him the unacceptable state of his rubbish bins.
Why is it so full? Stinks. Have a smell. Stinks. Very smelly. It's attracting flies.
She then takes him to the filthy backyard belonging to the dairy where he also has bins.
I think you need to get a new bin. We've got a problem with rats in the area, and this is perfect. The rats are going to affect you and everyone here, so everyone needs to keep this clean.
Then she questions the cook about some unlabeled food that he's selling to the dairy next door.
Do you sell this to next door?
Yeah.
There's no labels on it. You can't supply anyone unless it's labelled.
Smelling a rat here, Paula decides she has to investigate the cook's kitchen. And she's certainly not happy with what she finds. So she asks him to provide his food grade certificate.
I just asked the gentleman where his grade was and he told me it was broken. So, a broken grade. Right, you need to find your grade for me. The gentleman's just found the broken grade, so all grades have to be displayed to the public. It's a B grade. It's not as good as an A grade, but it's still a pass. This needs to be in the window, the principal entrance, so excuses like the grade is broken just doesn't work. So I'm going to go and stick this in the window, and then I'm going to do an inspection of the kitchen because I've got some concerns, just even by looking at it now, about cleanliness.
Paula's inspection shows up a number of problems.
I've just finished the inspection and there's a multitude of issues. Cleaning is the main thing. There's not any cleaning going on. Poor food storage. I've just opened up one of the chillers and it was full of mouldy food. Poor temperature control. The dishes in the hot cabinet are sitting around 40 degrees, so we've had to dispose of that food. Just general clutter. Luckily no vermin. It's about the only thing that's going right in there at the moment.
Paula gives the cook a week to get his act together. In the meantime, she has to downgrade him.
I've done the grading of the inspection now and I've downgraded them down to a D grade. They're a low D grade. They're lucky they're not an E grade. So quite a bit of work to be done. And obviously the yard issue as well. They need to get on top of their bins. The bin they've got there absolutely stinks. So they've got a week to get their act together and then I'll come back.
Coming up, an annoyed neighbour takes noise control to task.
This is going to get ugly.
And a street hawker has a run-in with the council.
If you want to apply the law, then do it properly.
It's Saturday night and Mike Dennison from Noise Control has received a complaint about a 16th birthday party.
Hey mate, Noise Control.
Mike's been greeted by security guards who are turning away people if they aren't on the door list.
Hey, look, we've had a complaint about it.
Sure.
If we can just keep it down, it'll be great. I'm not going to worry about a warning this time.
Mike gets the noise turned down quickly and leaves, but an angry neighbour is fed up.
Well, I can't make them close it up. All I can do is get them bring the level of noise down. That's all I can do.
Okay.
All we do is the noise.
This is going to get ugly. Like, there's people coming in here.
Like I say, I mean, I've been up there. I've had to talk to them just now. That's why they've turned it down a bit.
They haven't turned it down.
Oh, the level is noise. I mean, you can barely hear it now.
No, it isn't. Sorry, that's over the level. Okay? That is over the level. Go and check it. The law is, you don't make that much noise in a residential area at this time of the night.
There are two types of noise control problems. Excessive noise, which is made by people and unreasonably interferes with others. The second is unreasonable noise generated by industrial machinery or something similar.
So you go and sort it out.
Look, sir, I have just been up to sort it out. I'm just about to get back to council with
If
the
you
result.
can't sort it out, get the cops here, okay?
Okay, sir.
Mike makes an attempt to leave, but the neighbour's not finished with him yet.
Excuse me, can I have your name?
Sure, my name's Mike.
Mike who?
My warrant number's 1424. He was more concerned about the amount of people, the foot traffic in the street, not just people arriving, but the people being turned away. There was one of those parties, and it's a party how you should do it. You have a door list and you stick to it. So what's happening is that you've got all these ones that are just going to gate crash. Security saying, no, you're not coming yet. So then you've got a few people down in the street. That's not a noise problem, that's more a police problem.
Auckland Council's Environmental Health Officer Paula Cameron has been investigating a rubbish tip outside a shop in central Auckland. Paula gave the owners a week to clean the mess up. When she returns a week later, she's impressed with their work. The manager of the dairy has done a good job.
It's pretty good. Can't complain about that.
But the restaurant next door still has some way to go with their bins.
Hi, how are you? I'm just coming back to do a check to see how you... Can I come through? And you've got your bin. So these are all yours, yeah? Remember what I said about it's better if you put it in bags?
bag,
Yeah, it just smells.
Next, she has a look at the kitchen, which had mouldy food in it and wasn't up to a hygienic standard.
I've explained to the gentleman that he's been downgraded to D grade just because of what happened last week. He's done a really good job. I asked him to do maybe about 17 things and he's done the majority of them. It's still got the yard bit to fix, but obviously the yard is so much better. Inside the kitchen, cleaning's much better. We've got hot water. It's always good. There's no signs of any mouldy foods, out-of-date foods. Temperature controls, checks are in place. He's not over the moon about the D grade. Nobody ever is, but it's the way it is. So he understands the reasons, which is the important thing, and he understands what he has to do to maintain it. If he keeps it at this standard and he's done the few things left that I've asked him, he could easily get an A grade. So he has options.
Auckland Council's bylaws officers Teresa Paul and Moti Singh have received a tip-off about a man who's a serial offender when it comes to illegal street trading.
Moti's had this guy before. He sells honey illegally. Apparently they're trying to get him to prosecute him at the moment, so he can't sell at all in this area. Obviously he's packing up as quickly as he can to get out of here before we get there. But we've already got 2 signs down the road, and as you can see, he's going fairly quickly.
The officers have the power to seize his honey and have done so in the past.
Hey there, I'm Teresa and I'm from the Auckland Council.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously you're selling here.
While the honey hawker deals with the council, his accomplice takes off with the goods so they can't be seized.
What is the problem with this location?
Moti explains the dangers of cars stopping to buy honey on such a busy road.
28,000 vehicles go past this way, which is a safety issue for people.
But not on a set day, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, you can see, as you can see now, volume of traffic is quite big here.
Enough stalling, Teresa cuts to the chase.
Have you got a licence to trade here?
Don't need one.
He's wrong. He does need a licence, but it appears this is an ongoing dispute he's got with the council.
Sick and tired, they're trying to obey and putting in for licences and being given the run round.
Did I not write to you?
Pardon?
Did I not write to you to...
No, I got no letters.
I've got evidence. I wrote to you
If you want to apply the law, then do it properly.
Yeah,
if you're not doing it properly where I'm concerned.
I understand, Peter, but to date, I still haven't received.
Anyway.
The man's clearly getting angry, but he's going to have to toe the line.
Yeah, I just wanted to advise you, Peter. You are in breach of the bylaw.
The penalties for trading without a licence include the seizure of your goods, a conviction and a fine with a maximum $20,000 penalty. But this lucky street trader only gets an abatement notice today.
So what it says is you're on Cascades Road at Botany, outside the Pekaringa Golf Course, you're legally trading, and that we need you to cease trading immediately.
Yep.
We'll come back this way later on just to make sure that you've been picked up, and with nothing to trade, I can't see there being an issue.
So a sticky end for the serial offender, who will have to find somewhere else to hawk his honey.
He has been warned multiple times, many times, not to trade here. And on that basis, we seized about 8 grand worth of honey about 2-3 years ago. And then he hasn't learned a lesson since then. He has put his application in, but hasn't provided us a detail that we require.
The issue is, why should one guy be able to sit out here and trade, and you've got other guys with a shop down the road that they're leasing, and they're having to pay the lease to sell their wares. So, I mean, for us, it's just getting out and finding the people that are illegally trading on the side of the road where, others aren't. So he's packing up the last of his signs now, and he'll be in to sort out with Moti the rest of his application. So hopefully a good outcome all around for this guy.
Next week on The Inspectors, an Auckland Council harbour master has a run-in with a foul-mouthed fisherman. Also the stray city chickens that get their comeuppance.
The neighbour came over last night offering everyone in the neighbourhood chicken soup.
And trouble at a West Auckland takeaway.
There are too many problems here, way too many problems.